So Arsenal beat Bayern Munich 3-1 at home to send a message to Europe and all the talk, and we did the match analysis. If you haven't checked that, go check it out. People just cannot hold themselves. I think just people, when they speak about Arsenal, which is something I hate, they cannot hold themselves of saying the stuff that annoys people. Mark Grella, one of the analysts on CBS Sports after the game with Troy Deeney and the rest, couldn't hold himself back from saying some stuff that I think is just an agenda driven. It's like you're repeating what the media say. But on the other hand, Troy Deeney has actually responded on the same studio, which is very strange. On the other hand, Sky Sports have actually released something about Declan Rice that I think is kind of a little bit strange as well. The bringing up Declan Rice price tag now after he had a man of the match performance against Bayern Munich, comparing him to Enzo, Fernandez, and Caicedo. Listen, they're all good, but I think the criteria they mentioned is actually drove me crazy, and I don't think anybody have shown you this video before. Simon Jordan speaking about Arsenal actually being able to do the double. We'll talk about all of this. I'm going to show you my commentary on these videos, of course, as normal, as you guys are used to this. But before we do on, this is Footy Judgmo. If you haven't been here before, make sure to subscribe to the channel to get all our new videos. A like button, it looks like thumbs up underneath the video, goes a long way. So one like for every view will do this channel and this video wonders. It will send it to new viewers. So help us, hit that like button. And a comment goes a long way. So leave a comment below to tell me your thoughts about what I said and what you're going to hear here on this video. Of course, let's start by actually, this is the studio of the Arsenal versus Bayern Munich after the game. When Mark Grella was asked about how good are Arsenal, analyzed them in the game. And let's hear what he says, because I want to hear from you guys about, okay, he couldn't help himself. So let's just start. So let's hear. The question is simple, and let's hear what he says.
They beat Bayern Munich. Fantastic performance by every metric. We can keep on going on Arsenal until we're blue in the face, but at the end of the day, they've won nothing. Yeah, and we don't know. I mean, the season's a long way away. PSG barely limped into the knockout stage of this competition and won it. So,
but I think I hear your point and I take your point. But
before I actually say that, he was asked to analyze the video. Him saying that they won nothing, the question was very simple, because I kind of watched the big part of this, is that he was asked to analyze Arsenal. Can they go and win something? I think you can analyze that. They're very strong. They have squad depth. They look good. Yes, they speak in facts. As people say, they've won nothing, yes. But this is not what the analysis is for. It's very simple. It's about, do you think the Arsenal, look at how Troy Deeney is going to speak. Is the Arsenal team, do they look like they are favorites for both? The answer is simple. It's yes. They're very strong. They look very strong in both competitions. They knocked it out of the park against Bayern Munich. They have actually beaten teams left and right. They look so strong. They beat Newcastle away. And the team looks strong and special. And that's down to Mikel Arteta's work, of course. But saying that they didn't win anything yet has nothing to do today in November. It has nothing to do with it. They're not asking about the history of Arsenal. He's not asking about anything else. Liverpool have won the league last season. And if I ask you today, are Liverpool favorites to win the league or the Champions League, you would tell me no, right? If I ask you, are City favorites to win the league, you would tell me no, right? That's analysis of today. That is not about last season. That is not about the season before. So he couldn't help himself, to be honest.
But I think for years now, Arsenal have been labelled and laughed at, have been the butt of everybody's jokes, that when they are in this vein of form, even the most staunch Spurs fan has to say, this is an incredible side. And it is, and you have to give them the credit now. Now, if it plays out in 6 months' time, they don't win anything, this whole conversation will change. But for right now, they haven't put a foot wrong.
You've got to give them the flowers while it's due. And right now it's due, because they've improved. They've got every aspect of it. They can win through set pieces. They can win through playing football. They're very... where's the weakness? It's hard to say that there is a weakness right now in this Arsenal side.
Crossing the line.
Whether it's the start... Okay, but we still got...
He can't help himself. He's just so salty. He can't help himself. They are telling you now they play good football. They look one of the strongest in Europe. Across the line. Across the line. Okay. They're asking you about the weakness that you see in the team today. Not last season. Not the season before. I know that rivals are saying, oh, why? I'm not even glazing Arsenal. I'm not even glazing them. I'm just, Troy Deeney, right? Is that just analyzing? The other guy is just analyzing. And they're asking you, what in your footballing opinion? And I'm going to ask you guys, genuine question, right? In your footballing opinion, what is the weakness of Arsenal? I need an answer. Someone tell me, what is the weakness? People spoke about open play. They score from open play. The defense, strong and solid. Gabriel is out. They're still very strong defensively. The midfield looks strong. The creativity is there, replacing Odegaard, who is just back from injury. The left winger, Trossard and Martinelli, both scoring goals. Okay. He couldn't help. This is what I'm saying about people analyzing Arsenal. They want to say something, and they're just so adamant to say it.
Got time. I'll say that is the thing you've got to be cautious about. Last year, we saw a Liverpool side that looked invincible at the start of this campaign in this league phase. PSG, like you said, limped into it. But when that momentum came in, there's still a long way to go, they went on to win it.
And that is what I want to talk about. When people are actually talking about Arsenal, I don't think they can help themselves, to be honest. But let me just show you how Vincent Kompany, I like him. I like the guy. Like, I like how he portrays himself in the media. He just was a little bit salty, just for the laugh, before we actually go back to the videos about Declan Rice, because I need to show you this about Declan Rice. I need to show you how Sky Sports spoke about this, because it hurt my head when I listened to this. But let's listen to just a bit of a part of Vincent Kompany video to actually see the interview and how he's like, I want to face this team again. He's just like, I want to face them now. But before you go on, if you're still here, hit that like button, people, and subscribe. And also check out okjersey.com, our sponsor for today's show, for today's video, to get your affordable football shirt. And don't forget to use the code JUDGE. Give them a shot. You won't regret it. There's a lot of vintage shirts there that I got a lot of them. Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, United, Spurs, Newcastle, all of them. There's a lot of vintage ones. I got a lot of vintage ones for Inter as well. So go and check them out. You won't regret it. You won't regret it. And will tell me, Mo, that is a good deal. So go and check them out and use the code JUDGE to get 8% discount. Let's hear Vincent Kompany when he was asked about the Arsenal performance and how good the Arsenal team is.
Vincent, just talk us through how you saw the game from a Bayern perspective tonight.
We played against a very good Arsenal team today, so well done to them. The first half was I felt like once we got past, I think we started the game well enough, but then, you know, they had a bit of momentum with the set pieces. And once we got past that moment, I felt like we were growing in the first half. Probably at half-time, I thought that continuing that way would give us a win. But and then in the second half, we didn't come out at all. So we sort of let ourselves a little bit down in the second half in comparison to what we used to, the standards and everything. And I felt we exposed ourselves a little bit too easily for them, you know, to just actually win the games on good basics. You know, they've got quality as well. We've got to recognise they've got a very, very strong bench.
Look at him, like, giving praise to Arsenal. I'm going to continue the video with you. But look at him saying about the bench. I want you guys to hear that next part. That is an objective football coach. He's like a little bit salty that he lost and he wants to face Arsenal again. But look at how he describes that squad, which is what I've been talking about lately.
So as and when they are making the subs, they're not really losing much or anything at all, and we just I'd love to play them again as soon as possible. We'll have to wait a little bit, and hopefully in the latter stages with a good amount of learning from this game.
That is the part. He's like, I want to face them again. Harry Kane said the same, actually. They kind of felt a little bit so like, they're not like, we played a very good, you know, when you say these things, like, you can tell that they played a very good team and they can't wait to face that team again. They believe in themselves, Bayern Munich as well. I think that was salty but classy in the same time from Vincent Kompany. He addressed that Arsenal are very good, but he said, I want to place them, I want to play them again. That is a spot on, like, the depth of Arsenal. This guy comes out, Trossard comes out, Madueke comes in, Martinelli comes in for Saka, you know, Odegaard comes in for Eze, Calafiori for Mazou Kelly, there is Ben White as well. It's actually astonishing how Arteta and Arsenal have built a team that is so reliable like this. Of course, but he's going to go on and talk about Bayern Munich and the streak. But I want you guys to hear this, because they are talking about the 100 million plus signings that happened in the world. And the question is Declan Rice the best 100 plus million signing in football history? I want to hear your answer from this. Of course, there is a lot of big names that actually have, as you see in front of you, there is the Neymar, the Mbappe, the Declan Rice, of course, the Grealish, the Joao Felix, the Caicedos, the Enzos. But there is a part in this video that I think people need to think about what they say before they actually say things like this. So let's hear that part when the Enzo and the Caicedo conversation comes in. I'm not saying anything. Caicedo has been amazing. Enzo Fernandez, a little bit less. He's been good lately, but let's hear that part, of course. And I want to hear from you in the comment section, of course.
Ronaldo, 105 million to Juventus. Real Madrid to Juventus kind of goes under the radar. But Juventus have been paying for it ever since. So that was a big worry in spending that much. I think the one that jumps out for me is Neymar. The other one, maybe we might come back to this. Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez right now are proving that they are a top midfield. Could we be saying, because I think with Declan Rice, he's got a lot more to prove in terms of making.
I'm going to stop the video here and I'm going to actually let you listen to that last part. He said that Enzo and Caicedo have proven to be top midfielders, but Rice still has something to prove. As Enzo and Caicedo has already proven themselves and Declan Rice has to prove himself, I want to hear the basis of this, I want to hear the basis of this.
A top midfield. Could we be saying, because I think with Declan Rice, he's got a lot more to prove in terms of making his team win. I think he's great right now, brilliant. But I think he's also got to feel that I need to win those trophies as well. And then I will be also then considered in that category of the 100 million best transfer.
So, because Caicedo, I want to get this straight. I'm not knocking down any trophies. But because Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo won the Conference League and the Club World Cup in America, they are considered, they are already proven themselves because they won these trophies. While Declan Rice, who has done it in a Champions League quarterfinal, has done it against Real Madrid, who have been one of the most consistent players in the Premier League over the last 3 years. You can say that he didn't have the greatest whatever season, whatever thing, but the guy has literally proven, I think he has proven more than Caicedo and Enzo, in my opinion. He has won more man of the matches. He has gone in team of the season. He's actually was second in PFA player of the season 3 years ago behind Foden, or 2 years ago behind Foden. So I don't get the logic here, to be honest, which is, again, people talk about trophies. If you want to talk about trophies, Steven Gerrard has won the Champions League. That's it. Over his career has won the Champions League. R9 has never won the Champions League as well in his life, in his career, R9. But that doesn't define a player. I'm not saying that Caicedo is better than Rice or Rice is better than Caicedo, but you got to be worried about the criteria you're using in your analysis. And that is what annoys me sometimes. These are the things that annoy me sometimes. But I want you guys to hear that last part before we go to Simon Jordan, how Troy Deeney and Grella are talking about Arsenal before we go to the last video of Simon Jordan talking about Arsenal as well. This part, I want you guys to hear because I want your comment, but I want also to get your comments about Rice and Caicedo. Did one of them prove that they're 100 million plus already, or they didn't? I want you guys, let's listen to this in a little bit faster to actually see what these people think about them. Let's hear.
Who do you all think that, and which trophies do you think they'll win, if any, this season? If you had to predict right now.
If I had to predict right now, I still think they're the favourites for this. In the Premier League, you'll see it is very difficult for anyone to really string any real form together. So you would, as we sit here right now, it would be very difficult to make a case that anybody else is in a better suited position than Arsenal.
For the Champions League and the Premier League, you're saying?
I would say, mate, this Champions League is going to throw spanners in the works.
No one's disputing. You're talking about things that are not happening. So for right now, who is?
Premier League. I would say Premier League. I can't pick anyone in the Champions League right now.
But if you had to pick a team right now, who is? Who's better suited to beat?
It's hard. I think it's very fine margins because now in the group stages it's very generous. So right now you're just.
I want people to answer straight. If I want to answer you, I want you guys to answer this question. If you have to pick a team today to win the Champions League, You have gun to your head. You got to pick a team today. Which team are you choosing? Genuinely, honestly, I want to know. I want to know what you guys think for real. Anyone, by the way, if you're a Chelsea, a Liverpool, if you're an Inter, if you're a Real Madrid, if you're a Barcelona fan, who would you pick today? If I'm asking you, who would you pick today to win the Champions League? No dilly-dallies, no sitting on the fence, just pick.
Just trying to get your standings. You know what it's like, a mindset. When he gets to the knockout stage, it's a different level, it's a different expectation, it's a different mentality. It's hard to pick right now to say that they look great right now. But when it comes to the knockout stage, it's a different switch that comes onto players, because you lose, you go home. I'll say they're favourites for me for the Premier League. They're definitely favourites
More
for that.
so.
But Champions League, no.
So, Grell, you're going for the Premier League too? If you
I think they're better suited to knockout stage football because of the set pieces and the defensive stability of the team. I've said that even last season. So I think the Champions League, but they're also more favored, I think, in the Premier League. I agree with Nigel, because other teams are struggling so bad. You look at Manchester City losing home games, conceding goals. Liverpool, 6 wins, 6 losses. This early in the season, you saw what happened tonight to them. So I just don't even see where the competition is really going to. Maybe Chelsea, but it's a young squad. It's also a young squad that
But you're all in agreement that they will win a trophy this season, right?
Yeah, I think we're at the start of the season.
The odds say that they're going to win a trophy.
No, I think at the start of the season, everyone would have said he has to win something, whether that.
Yeah, he can't get himself, Grilla, to actually say that Arsenal will win something. I'm tired of people being afraid. I'm tired of people. If you're gonna ask me straight, Mo, do you think Arsenal win a trophy this season? I'll say yes. If they don't, we'll have the conversation. We can absolutely have that conversation later. But if you're asking me today, will Arsenal win a trophy? Most likely, yes. Gun to your head, Mo, do you pick Arsenal to win a trophy? Yes, I can. Why not? It's very strange how people absolutely think about that. But listen, before I go on, and I'm sure that Sam and Jordan with White, of course, on Talksport, talk about Arsenal and what they said about that, make sure to hit that like button and leave a comment below and subscribe if you are new. And if you're enjoying this type of content, please let me know in the comment section. Let's actually hear what these guys say.
When you look at Arsenal, Simon, there is an ominous air of superiority around Arsenal right now.
Yeah, if you look at the fact that they played Bayern Munich in April 24 over 2 legs, and you saw the difference in tactical nous and class between the two sides, because Bayern did a job on them at Emirates in terms of getting a result and then beat them back in Germany. Now Arsenal are built for the opportunity. They're squad-wise, they're built for it. They're built to launch an assault on both the Premier League and the Champions League, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were to win both. Yeah. Now, of course, it's one thing winning games in the group stages. We saw PSG not winning any games in the group stages last year of any significance and yet going on to win the tournament. It's another thing getting into the knockout stages and playing against a Madrid, or playing against the Bayern Munich, or playing against a PSG in a knockout game rather than in a group stage. Yeah. But what you've got is an Arsenal side that are built for the challenges that are ahead of them, and they are now in a position where they're in a box seat to win a Premier League. They're in a box seat to be very, very competitive and perhaps go all the way in the Champions League, because they've got the squad. Look at the quality they've got. Sure, you bring on Madueke, comes on. Look at him; he's a top player.
Yeah, you would have rated Bayern.
Nobody have said that about Madueke before. No one have said that Madueke is a top player. Is that down to Arteta's work? By the way, it's too early to call him a top player. It's too early to say that Madueke has already worked Arsenal. That is what I believe. I believe there is a long way for Madueke to actually us to sit here and say he's a top player, because it's still too early for me. But the quality is undeniable. If your backup is a good Madueke, if your backup is a good Martinelli, if your backup is an Eze, if your backup is a Mosquera or an Hikape or a Calafiori or a Marzo Skelly or a Ben White, that is top backups, right? That we haven't even mentioned the likes of Nwaneri, haven't mentioned the likes of Kai Havertz, haven't mentioned the likes of Gabriel Jesus, who these people are still coming.
Bayern Munich is one of the top sides, if not the top side in Europe.
Of course I rate.
By the way, everyone said that I would pick Bayern ahead of Arsenal. I don't think I said that, you know. I might pick Real Madrid or a PSG or something. I wouldn't pick Bayern ahead of them. Inter played Bayern last season. We struggled, but we gone through. But you can tell the difference between the Arsenal team that played Bayern 2 years ago versus the Arsenal team that played Bayern the other day, just a couple of days ago, depending on when are you watching this. It's just different.
Rate them as one of the top side in Europe. I think it's debatable whether they're the best side in Europe. I think we can still lay claim to PSG potentially being that.
100%. I kind of agree with them a little bit about this. It's actually spot on what they said about PSG versus Arsenal. But I would pick, if you're asking me today, listen, it's not knockout stages. We are still here. Like I was asked last season, who are favorites to win the Champions League, and it looked like it's Liverpool, and then they fell apart against the PSG because PSG got Dembele back on form and Kvaratskhelia and Desiree Doué got involved, and things change. Things can change, but today, I don't understand how can someone sit today and talk about Arsenal not being the team that looks like the team in form in the world right now. I think they are currently the best in Europe. They are the team that you don't want to face. I don't know what are the weaknesses in them, in my opinion. Like, I can't find that. I can't put my hand, like you can put Barcelona a high line. You can say Bayern Munich, the defense is not that strong. You know what? Like, you can say Real Madrid, oh my God, Vini Jr. and Mbappe, do you walk on the pitch? Can someone tell me what are the weaknesses of Arsenal? I want to know. I want to hear from you guys in the chat. I want to hear from you. Hit that like button, guys. If you guys are here, subscribe to the channel. If you guys are new, I want to thank everyone that is sticking with us, supporting us through watching these videos on the live shows. I will see you guys in the next video, and we're out of here, people.